Hi, this is Lucas Katsaros. Welcome to my channel. And what a beautiful morning today here in Melbourne, in Australia. I hope you're all having a great day or night. It depends where you are. Today we are going to speak about the appearance of a sign. This sign is basically a sign that came to me from up above, and in the essence of a human being that was walking this planet many years ago, and it was called Buddha. Now, let me explain something. I'm not religious, right? I'm not going to go into any religious debate. Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, Taoists, you're beautiful and I love you all, right? But what I'm telling you is what has happened to me and how I was able to access this consciousness that's called Buddha consciousness. And in another video, I will be talking about the amazing Joshua or Jesus and how he connect with me. So nevertheless, these videos have nothing to do with religion. They have to do with experience of the unknown, and that experience happened to my life, and I am honored and I love it, and I'm like, yeah man, it was so cool when it happened. And more than anything, it shows to me as a human being that my beingness is able to access things. My human body, this good tool, instrument, vehicle, whatever you want to call it, is been helping me in my life, in this experience, and it's been helping me to understand what I need to do in this life. But nevertheless, connecting to beings like Buddha, I believe it's everyone's right and everyone can do that. Now, the way they will be able to do it is a different way. We all have different ways of accessing this realm because we have different alignments and we come from a different space. So that's all very different topics altogether. But to go back to my experience with Buddha, we need to travel back in time where I was 35 years old, like yesterday. That was in 2005, to be exact, November 2005. I was in a relationship with a lady who was Buddhist and Christian at times, whatever she felt like being. One week she was Buddhist, one week she was Christian. A very complicated situation, but let's leave that for now. So I was with this lady, and I was not in a good place. I have to admit, I was in a very dark place. There's many reasons why that happened back then. The main reason why that happened was I was feeling lonely, although I was with someone, but within my heart there was something missing. What was missing was that from the age of 33, so only a year and a half, maximum 2 years, 2 years before that, I lost my mother, and my mother was everything to me. It was my guide. It was a beautiful soul that was always helping me and was always giving me advices of what I'm supposed to be doing. And that was her positive side. Her negative side, her dark side, she was extremely abusive, and she used to hurt me a lot from a very young age, and that was her own suffering, and she didn't know how to express it. She was by herself, and the way she was doing it was she was being violent, and that's all she knew because her father, my grandfather, was also violent. So that scenario kept reappearing in her life, and I was now at the receiving end. So from all my childhood up until teenage years, she was very abusive. So this love abuse scenario create in my life this codependency. And I'm not sure if you have seen that or if you have felt that. It's the same codependency that a rape a rapist has to the victim. So I don't know if you know that, if you have heard stories that people go into this codependency between the person, the abuser, and the one who's been abused. And all of a sudden, the person who is being abused seeks that abuse. Well, this what happened to my life, and this was going on all my life, and this was going up until like a year ago, up until I realized that my trauma comes from my childhood and my mother's connection. So that's a little bit of an insight of how this lack of love in my heart started. Because I'm 35 now, and I have lost my mother. I've lost the person who was giving me love and pain, and the only thing that I had left was pain. Because really, when someone leaves you and this person is giving you love, then what's left, if he's giving you love and pain, is going to be the pain. The love is gone because the person has passed, is somewhere else, and therefore whatever is left is only the pain. Of course, there is always love in it, but this love is so well masked from all these programs that we've been running from a young age, and especially myself, because I was a young man, I was a boy, I had to become stronger, I had to leave my country, I had to come to Australia, I had to keep moving and trying to be a father, and all these different layers of programming to hide our emotions, to hide my emotions, to hide what I was, who I was really, what I was really, what kind of a person I am, and who I really am. Because really, you have to pick up responsibilities, and therefore, a layer upon layer upon layer upon layer, you're creating a life which is really not your life. It's a life that you have inherited because of your trauma. That's pretty serious stuff. So in November 2005, I was going through a life crisis. I was abusing myself mentally and physically. I was not healthy. I was taking substances, so I was not in a good place at all. And I was feeling lost. I'm not sure if you have felt lost before in your lives, but it's not a good thing. And I needed to get out of that, but I didn't know how. So my good girlfriend back then, she goes, okay, let's go to the Buddhist temple. So I went to the Buddhist temple in Sunshine, and there were two big, there was one big, no, it was two. It was two big statues. I think it was the first was a female, the second was a male. It was representing something specific, and I found some kind of alignment, because it was the male, the female, the mother and the father, and I didn't have good childhood, so for me it made sense. And I sat there, and the Buddhists have those little, it's like little stones where you throw them and you expect them to land on the same face, upside down or upside or inside or something like that. And I did that, and I did a prayer, and I prayed to Buddha, or what I was thinking was Buddha, because really that's Buddha's energy, Buddha's consciousness, which is not really a physical manifestation. It's more energetic, which is very detailed. Nevertheless, I was praying. I'm like, okay, I'm not in a good place. I know I deserve better. I know I've done mistakes. I deserve a better life, and I'm here on my knees, and I'm asking you to please give me a sign that you exist. Give me something to know that I'm not alone. And I'm sitting down and crying, of course, and I was focusing into my heart and to see how I can actually bring this heart of mine out. It wasn't very easy. Nevertheless, after I finished the prayer, the Buddhists have some little sticks with different numbers, and you have to throw them slowly down until one of those sticks comes out. And one stick came out. It was the number 45. I read the 45. What it meant, it was a very positive, very beautiful message, which I can't even remember now. It's been so many years, 15 years. Nevertheless, I was I wasn't happy, I wasn't unhappy. I just, because I didn't know anything, I got the number 45, and I left. That was a Thursday morning. Thursday evening, we have what we call the Powerball. It's like a lottery here in Australia, and this lottery has some numbers in one barrel, and the Powerball comes at the end on the last barrel. And I'm with a friend of mine, and we're having a chat, and we're talking about things. And as we're talking about things, I'm hearing on TV that there's the Powerball draw. And I said to him, the Powerball today will be 45. He goes, get out of here. I'm like, no, the Powerball will be 45. He goes, whatever, man. Like, stop taking all this shit, it's not good for you. I'm like, no, it's not because I take any shit. It's because this is what the number is. It's gonna be 45. He goes, how do you know? I'm like, I know. He goes, how? I'm like, if it comes out, which it will come out, you will see. He goes, okay, whatever. So we had the 5 numbers, I think five numbers came from one barrel, and the Powerball, and starts spinning around and 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 around, and then, boop, went down. It's like a little line where the number goes, got picked up, 45. And my friend goes, oh my God, man, how did you do that? Oh, the stuff you're taking are so cool, I need some. I'm like, man, no, it's not me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me who created this. It was me who received it. And that was a sign. He goes, sign from whom? I'm signing from the Buddha consciousness, that he is real, that he exists, that he is not just a fiction or in the books. His presence is real. The presence, it's not he or she, it's the presence. The presence is real, and it is easily to be accessed. And he was like, oh my God, man, I don't know how you did this, but yeah, I was cool. I'm like, well, I don't know how I did it either, but I was looking up, I'm like, that was cool. And that was a sign from up above that we are not alone. And the reason why I decided to have this video today is because I wanna give you the opportunity to have some hope in your lives. What happened to me 15 years ago, and there was a few more times that there's things like this have happened, but what happened to me 15 years ago showed me that there is so much power outside us. And when we are sad, or we're angry, or we feel emotions that they are not good for us, then we can pray, we can go down on our knees, nothing wrong with that, and we can remove the ego a little bit, we can hide from the whole world. I mean, we're hiding now because we are in closed doors, and pray, and pray. Pray to get something out of your existence. But the prayer has to be truthful. Like, you have to go deep into your heart. You have to let go of your suffering, even for a split second, to be able to receive that. Because when we are conditioned and when we have all these our thoughts of what is right, what's wrong, what's Allah, what's Buddha, what's Jesus, what is this, what is the pagans, what's happening around us, these are all conscious stuff. We are processing all that. But there's a lot more into our own existence. A lot more. We're gonna go into a lot more down the track. But today, I would like you to have this message that you're not alone, that you can access anything you want to access from up above. You're only limited to what you think is limiting you. And just open your heart, remove your thoughts, let go of your surroundings for a little while, and just be present to your glorious existence that's called human being. We are blessed. We've got so much beautiful energy within us, and it's so amazing to be able to connect into this beautiful energy. And like Buddha, we can access many other things. So So make sure you try to access only the beautiful things, and make sure that you only need it for your own salvation, for your own lives. Because if we want to help others, we have to help first ourselves. So that was my experience with the Buddha consciousness. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned, because we're going to have a lot of more different videos, especially now that we have a lot more time in our hands. It was Lucas Katsaros, it is Lucas Katsaros, from the beautiful Melbourne in Australia. Stay tuned, subscribe if you need to subscribe to my channel. If you liked it, please share it, and I will see you again. Thank you. Bye.